Yo, what is up guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a review on the PL Player 85 rated purple card Hector Bellerin. I'm going to be going through our usual clips with him, the summary at the end. I'm also going to go through what his grind is like and if I think you guys should do it. Before we get into all of that, if you guys could drop this video a like, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when I upload, and comment down below what your thoughts are on this card, if you like the fact that they've released this card, if you've used him, what your thoughts are on that as well. And without further ado, let's get straight into this. So, we can see straight away Hector Bellerin, decent height, 5'10", for a fullback. He feels a bit smaller than that because of his strength, but that's by the by for a fullback. For me, it's more about the speed. His work rates are a problem for me, guys. High-low work rates, not ideal for a fullback. I would prefer that to be a high-medium because I do like my fullbacks to bomb on, but I do also want them doing some defensive work. He's, of course, right-footed, so that's fine for a right back. If it's left back, right-footed, I'm a bit, but this is okay. 3-star skill moves, 2-star weak foot, so again, not in the best in that department. I played 5 games and I've got 3 assists, so he's not bad in terms of, you know, getting the assists for you, and I did maybe abuse it a little bit. He would get more assists as the games go on. I feel like he's a really good outlet sometimes on that wing. In terms of this overall card though, guys, I don't think it's one for the comp players. It's more for your casual players who just enjoy playing with different types of cards. Maybe you could slot this into an Arsenal team, a nice hybrid you could make out of this as well. So in terms of that, that's where I kind of put this card. It's not one of those competitive cards that's going to be really meta for you and really useful. It's just a fun card to use. Getting into some of his info, he is of course right back from Arsenal in the Premier League, so it gives you great linkability. He's Spanish as well, so you can go to Liga BBVA, you can go to the Premier League, you can really build a nice team around this card, and he gives you lots of options. His attributes, of course, the standout one is his pace. Hector Bellerin's pace is unbelievable, but the other really surprising thing about this card, and I'm only going to go into his stats a little bit, guys, here, is the dribbling stats, especially the agility and reactions and ball control balance. You know what, the whole thing. In that section, he is so quick and so fast, he plays like a winger. So when you're coming down that wing and you say you have a second player there who you're using, you can easily slip past people. You can even use Bellerin to attack with because he is so lethal with his dribbling as well. The only thing that lets him down, and again, this is from a fullback perspective, is his crossing and his passing. It needs to be better for that to really make him a really usable right back and get down that wing, put in good balls, get a good pass in behind, really trouble the defense, because you can get into the position, but quite often you struggle finishing the chances off. His stamina is 85. Now that's good, especially if you're not trying to out and out use this card all the time. I think it's very usable, but towards the end of the game, if you are bolting it down that wing and you're giving him the instruction to bolt it down the wing as well, he is going to get tired towards the end of the game. The last thing as well about this card is, although he's 5'10", he is very slight and a very weak player. That's not to say you can't defend with him, because his pace is very usable, his tackling is fantastic, but when you're coming up against a bigger winger, say like a Gareth Bale, maybe that's not the same kind of players on that wing, but you know, that kind of player who's got that build out wide, a bit bigger than him, a bit more strong than him as well. He struggles against those kind of players, especially in the air. So that was really the only other drawback for me about this card. Traits, he's only got the one, speed dribbler. So again, you'll see some of this in some of the clips when I managed to do some of the moves with him. He's absolutely fantastic to use like that. So now that we've covered the basics of the card, let's get into his grind. Okay guys, so Bellerin's requirements are 15 wins in the managerial masterpiece with 11 Premier League players, score 30 goals, get 20 assists, assist from a cross in 4 separate games, and score 6 finesse goals in separate games as well. So overall, these are all pretty easy, I find, apart from the Premier League wins. That's not really a difficult one. It's more just a grind to get 15 wins, especially when there's a lot of people in there, including myself, who are sweating it out trying to get this card. The problem with this as well is that the team you require to do it with is a 77 rated team with no bronzes and a max of 3 silvers. So actually you have to build a handicapped team as well. I ended up building a team with second in form Ollie Watkins, Adama Traore and Alain Saint-Maximin on the left and right wings respectively, just because I had to pace horror, guys. I couldn't play the slow build-up play that I usually like to play, and it was the easiest way to get rage quits and wins. On the plus side, people do seem to quit pretty early in these games. If you go 2-0 up quite early, they just seem to quit and give up quite easy. I think everyone's just kind of the opinion, let's just get the wins, and here's your win, take your win, let's get this card done. So it is a bit of a grind, but the 30 goals, 20 assists, The crosses and the finesse goals, I didn't have any difficulty with those guys. I completed them within the first 5 or 6 games. It's really, especially the finesse one obviously is 6 games. So I think it's really just the wins that you need to watch out for. We'll get into that a bit more later as we go through the summary. But now that we've covered the basics of this card and what his grind is, let's get into some of the clips. Okay guys, just going through some of Hector Bellerin's clips, and a lot of these clips that I'm about to show you will just be what I find to be the most enjoyable part of this card, which is really his dribbling. And you can see here from all the clips that I put together, guys, I lost the ball there unfortunately, that his dribbling is like that of a good winger. Not an elite winger, but a really good winger. When you combine that with the fact that you can play quick 1-2 passes around people, get around the back of the defenders here, again, you can see him making a fantastic run. I haven't forced that run. We get it through to him here. All of a sudden with that pace, you're in on the back 4, and that's where it gets dangerous. Now guys, in that last clip there you'll see it, and maybe again it'll pop up again, but that was one of the big letdowns of Hector Bellerin's card, was actually his crossing, because a couple of times it just let him down in that final ball where you need him to deliver something good. And it's one of the reasons that it's a big con for me of this card. As much as I enjoyed using this card and dribbling with him, as you can see here, skipping past 2 or 3 challenges and just playing a nice little ball in behind, the problem with this card is the end product. The shooting isn't great on it, so finishing with it isn't the best. And whilst you can use the pace just to absolutely try and blitz people, it's difficult to always get an end product out of him, because you know you can't just ping a shot off. You know that his crossing is a little bit handicapped as well. In terms of overall defending, you've just got to use his pace, guys. That's the best thing to use this card for, is literally just chase after someone, run around with him, and get him onto the attacker as quickly as you can. There is no point in trying to use this card to defend like you would normally. His standing tackle and sliding tackle is good, but because of his strength or lack of in his game, it makes it more difficult to defend with him. So I found that just trying to cut passing lanes and break out from defense quickly. Again, here you can see I break with the ball straight away and try to get out of defense there. I did get tackled actually in that sequence. Again here, I'm not afraid to actually just let him run with the ball. The problem is, again, and although I seem to be going on about problems only, I will get on to some of the pluses, is that with his high-low work rates, once you start him going up front, then it's really difficult to get him back into play unless you're manually doing it. You can see here, he's bombing it back. Now, he is quick when he's coming back, so it's very good just to use him to break down those defenders, get the ball back quickly and break out again. But sometimes he will take a bit of time to get back. Going on to his positives again, as I said before, his dribbling is absolutely fantastic, and when he runs, it's scary because he's getting very quickly in behind the defenders. It's like having a second winger there, and he can set up some really good chances as well if you can pick out the right ball. Sometimes when you're relying on the game to give you a bit of luck with that cross that you want, it doesn't always pan out. Here again you can see a skip inside the man, and once I get past him again, he's absolutely gone. It's an easy pick out for Royce and an easy finish. On the last clip again, you'll see again, it's just absolute pace that I use to get in behind this guy. He makes that run there, play the ball down the line, and once I'm in this position, it's in trouble, because although he may not be the best passer, it's really easy to pick out a pass when you can always just run past everyone, and it's a really tidy finish. So guys, in summary for this Hector Bellerin card, of course there's no prices for PS and Xbox. He is Arsenal Premier League Spanish player. I played 5 games with him, 2 clean sheets. Again, with his high-low work rates, I actually found that when I was taking him forward a lot and I was abusing that, or pace scoring down that wing I should say, I found that I was leaving a lot of gaps in behind, especially on the right-hand side, because he didn't track back as fast as I wanted him to. So that's almost where a lot of the goals came from, and that maybe is a bit of a problem if you like your defenders to get back in and you want to concede. Obviously everyone wants to concede less goals. It was a bit of an issue for me from that sense, in that I was conceding a lot from where my right-hand side is. He did get a few assists from me as well though, and you can see again the key stats for him: acceleration and agility. He's like I mentioned before, another winger. His crossing, although it's 81, that's decent. It needs to be better for you to be able to consistently provide end product with this card. Combine that with the fact that although he's reasonably sizable but not very strong, it makes him a bit of a liability on the defensive side sometimes. Overall though, guys, value for money rating is 100 for this card, because you don't have to put any money into him. It's just time. It depends on how much you value it. I really enjoyed using this card. I loved using it. It was really fun for a free card, and for me as an Arsenal fan, I really loved the fact that they brought this card out. You can see there the pros and cons: speed demon and tight dribbling, and of course poor crossing and low physicality. It's the key factors for this card. Similar players, I put Semedo and Bruno Perez. Maybe Semedo is a better player than this card, I think. I wouldn't trade up my Semedo for this card. But he's a very good alternative if you wanted a free card and didn't want to pay for that Semedo. He obviously gets a lot of strong links to Partey and players like Aubameyang as well. You also get those links to the Spanish icons. So you've got lots of options with this card and you can link to a lot of people in La Liga. That is it for the review, guys. So if you did enjoy, please do, again, hit that like, subscribe, comment down below what your thoughts are on the review. And until next time, I will see you then in a bit.